Hunting season is on. How does that affect students?
The theater department is running productions with a new director.
We take a preview on Mock Crash coming up.
And the boys' cross-country team is full of ambition for state.
Hi, I'm Jason Lopez Martinez.
And I'm Courtney Thorstensen, and you're watching Eagle Zone.
Jabez isn't here this week, so we decided to take over for this episode. Hunting season is officially underway in South Dakota.
With the season starting, young hunters need to be careful of what is left in their car on school grounds. Eagle Zone's Joe Volsky talks with Officer Kernan to see how you can come home with your game and not a felony. Joe?
Everyone knows that weapons are not allowed on school property, but what if you forget?
Yeah, sure. So if you do forget a weapon in your vehicle, it could definitely be searched by administration or law enforcement. And if you do have a weapon on school property, you could face consequences from law enforcement and also school consequences.
That's why senior and outdoor enthusiast Austin Sprinkle is careful after a weekend of hunting.
Yeah, now that I'm 18, I don't really want like a charge or anything on my record, so I could get in pretty big trouble if I did forget even.
When people think of weapons, they might think of firearms, but there are a lot of other things used for hunting that are considered weapons and not allowed on school property.
Knives are also not allowed. The state law talks about dangerous weapons. That includes firearms, air guns. It also can a stun gun, knife, or any device or instrument that could cause or inflict bodily harm. So even a makeshift knife that isn't like a pocket knife could technically be considered a weapon. If you turn something into a weapon that could inflict harm on somebody, you could still be in violation of state law.
And ammunition is another thing. It gives police or administration a reason to search your vehicle.
It's in the back of my mind, but I usually do a pretty good job at taking all my stuff out, like Sunday night or, the morning before I go to school.
If you get to school and remember you left something in your car, Kernan says you should go straight home, have your parents call to excuse you, and make sure to keep any banned items off school property.
Thanks, Joe. The resident pheasant season starts this weekend with the out-of-state opener next weekend, but the youth season is already underway. You can find a full list of dates on the Game Fish and Parks website.
The Golden Eagle Marching Band comes off a busy weekend with another packed schedule ahead. Here you can see the band marching in the Gypsy Tape Parade. Central won the gold medal for the best band. After that, it traveled to the Festival of Bands competition in Sioux Falls. The Eagles made it to the finals and finished 10th place. You still have a couple chances to see the marching band play here in Aberdeen. They play at the football game this Friday and have an indoor concert at Central's Theater next Friday at 7.
The school district has fewer students for the third year in a row. Superintendent Becky Guffin presented enrollment numbers to the school board this week. There are about 60 fewer students in the district compared with the same time last year.
The greatest majority of those students, the loss, is simply the difference between kindergarten enrollment and 12th grade graduates. So we graduated more 12th graders than we brought in kindergartners. A low kindergarten enrollment is not unique to this school district. It is the trend across the entire state. I met with my colleagues last Thursday, and everyone was expressing what are your kindergarten numbers, and everyone has a lower kindergarten than they were expecting.
The number of students has dropped by 200 over the past 5 years.
Central's drama department is cleaning up its fall play. This marks the first play with a new director. Longtime director Roger McCafferty retired at the end of last school year. Eagles' own Zoe Stuckey joins us to see how the new play under a new leadership turned out.
After longtime director Roger McCafferty retired, Jennifer Lofsold took over as the new theater director.
It's a big job. It's a big job. There are lots of parts. I feel like I've had to learn a lot of different things, which is good. It's good to learn things. And I think that next year will be easier than this year because I'll know some things. I won't know everything, but I'll know some things. So it's been difficult, but Kath's the best.
The department's first show under her leadership was Radium Girls, a play about an actual event in American history. That's one of the 3 productions the theater department will have this year.
It's exciting, a little nerve-wracking, but good.
Lofsold looks forward to future shows after the success of her first production.
I know there'll be a lot of learning for both, just because the fall play is very different from the one act, which is very different from the musical. But I'm excited about it.
If you want to audition for the one-act musical, the audition will happen sometime mid-December.
Thanks, Zoe. There will also be a one-act play this winter and a spring musical that students can look forward to later in the school year.
Teen Driver Safety Week is coming up, and students at the high school have a lesson coming their way from the school resource officer and members of SAD. Those parties will have a mock crash. Officer John Kernan joins us in the studio to tell us about the event. Officer Kernan, welcome.
Thank you, Courtney.
First, what is a mock crash and where can we see it?
Yeah, so the mock crash is going to be held on Monday, October 16th during second block. We're going to have that set up in the west parking lot over here, kind of between the ATEC and Central.
Okay, so what do you hope comes out of the mock crash?
Yeah, so Teen Driver Safety Week, we're looking at exposing a mock crash to students to view and see some of the dangers, and for us to put out some of the dangers that teens face while driving. Alcohol consumption and driving, inconsistent or no seatbelt use, speeding, distracted driving, or too many passengers in the vehicle. They can all be these great dangers that could result in a car crash, and we're really hoping to expose that to the students.
What message do you have for teen drivers?
Yeah, now we're obviously getting into the winter season, so during winter we have a lot more snow and ice on the road. We want to be careful with that, but ultimately this is every day, all year, that you need to be safe while driving, and that does mean following the speed limits, no substances, minimizing the passengers in the vehicle, minimizing distractions. We want passengers to speak up, and if they're seeing unsafe driving, we want them to also speak up and say something.
Thanks, Officer Kernan. We'll be right back after this message from media production students.
Yeah, I'm fine. You're really fast, too.
Just look both ways next time. Alright, help someone else. Here's your ball.
Thank you.
Welcome back. We talked with athletes winding down their seasons while some teams have already finished state. Eagle Zone's Evan Howard joins us with sports. Evan?
We have a lot of postseason results to share with you, and some teams are still in the regular season. We start with final golf results from state. The boys team finished in 10th place. Freshman Cole Bruss earned the best score for the Golden Eagles, hitting 15 over par during the two-round event. Carter Blanchard was next for the Golden Eagles at 18, followed by Peyton Bruss at 21 over. The girls tennis team is back from state with a 5th place finish. In singles, Lainey Gonzer made the podium in the third flight with a 3rd place performance. In the 4th flight, Livia Douglas earned 5th place, and in flight 5, Reese Comstock grabs the 3rd place title. Over to doubles. Julia Knie and Avery Tennant made it to the first flight championship match and finished in 2nd place. In the 3rd flight, Comstock and Olivia Geyer earned 4th place. Now to soccer. Both teams started the postseason off with wins. The boys team won in the first round, defeating Watertown by 2, but the Eagles fell to Sioux Falls Lincoln in the quarterfinals. The girls team passed through the first round with a 5-point win over Yankton. In the quarterfinals, the Eagles topped Spearfish by a goal, which brought the team to Mitchell, where they played the top-ranked Colonels in the semifinal round. The cross-country teams are gearing up for state after their ESD conference meet. The girls team finished in 5th place, and the boys team earned 2nd. The 2nd place ESD team is competing in meets with a mix of older and younger athletes. Eagle Zone's Haley Johnson checks in on their season.
When you look at the way the boys cross-country team is running right now, you might call it
pretty good. Got second at conference, then we have a chance at the state title, it's pretty exciting.
Runners need to do well for that to happen, but the team isn't relying on 1 or 2 people to carry the burden of a high finish. Senior Rylan Johnson says the team has a lot of depth. He's attending the state meet as an alternate.
We have 11 guys that can run pretty fast. So it doesn't really put as much pressure on, say, a Josh Martin's kind of figure, where if our number 1 runner doesn't do as great, that's fine, because we have another 10 guys that can come in and fill the gap.
Johnson credits some of the success now to work over the summer.
Because we started running together as a team, and once you start running together in practice, it's one of those things, what you do in practice is what you do during the game or during the meet in our case.
And that, they say, is running in packs and working together as a team. These seniors are optimistic about the timing of state as well.
We're peaking right now. I think we had 10 guys, maybe was it, that PR'd the last race. So yeah, maybe we can get, our coach has been saying get 1% better this next 10 days so we can really do some damage at state.
Reporting for Eagle Zone, I'm Haley Johnson.
The state meet is October 21st in Sioux Falls.
Thanks, Evan. Just a quick reminder that the end of the first term is Friday, October 20th. Missing work needs to be turned in by then. Make sure to turn in all assignments sooner rather than later.
That's all for this episode of Eagle Zone. You can always watch our stories whenever you want by scrolling down to the Eagle Zone section of the school district website. That's aberdeen.k12.sd.us.
We leave you this week with fall shots around Richmond Lake. With Eagle Zone, it's your boy, Jason Lopez Martinez.
And I'm Courtney Thorstensen. Jabez, we'll see you next week.